Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Welcome on board. It's a beautiful morning, as you can see right here from our studios. It is Morning Spring this Monday morning, and here we talk about socio-political issues affecting us as a people. We are reaching you live from our studios in Osogbo, the capital city of Osun State. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome Tunde Idowu on board.
Always a delight, and good morning to you wherever you are. Thanking you indeed for being with us right here. Hope you had a wonderful weekend.
Talking about weekend, how was your weekend today?
Yeah, on the road, covering, not protesting.
Covering the protest.
Yeah, covering the protest.
And also talking about the protest, I mean, during the weekend, we saw people come out to protest in different cities across the nation. And on Sunday, the president gave that nationwide broadcast addressing, although some people think that he did not address the demands of the protesters. Your thoughts?
Yeah, basically, it's one of the major things we will discuss on the program today.
Exactly.
And I felt once, just like a father telling you, you shouldn't go out today, sit at home, you're not going out, you're not going to see your friends. I said, I don't have a choice. I have to listen to my father. He's my father. Yeah, Mr. President is the father of the nation. And I think for the reason best known to him and all of us, because looking at the level at which this protest has actually erupted into parts of the country, majorly the northern part of the country, we've had destructions, killings, and arson, looting. He's looked at it and said, look, for these reasons, let's hold this protest, which I feel we should, because it was the least of things for me. Initially, we heard it was going to be a peaceful protest. We've had that in some states in Nigeria. But suddenly, some states are boiling. Just as I said, destructions, burnings, and us killings. I feel at this point in time, the protesters have made government sit up. And this protest, in anticipation to that protest, it made them really know that they meant business. And but now that it has taken a new twist, I think it's better we hold down for now.
All right, and talking about destruction, Nigeria is not the only country having it rough and tough at this time. What happened at the weekend into yesterday in different parts of the United Kingdom, where far-right protesters were protesting against against immigrants, especially Muslim immigrants, because of what happened in the country on Monday, where there was a shooting, and it was said to have been done by a Muslim immigrant. And
it was a stabbing.
A stabbing, sorry, a stabbing. Thank you for the correction. So, and you know, people who are immigrants in the United Kingdom right now, they are not safe, because wherever they turn to, I was on X yesterday, and I saw a lot of people saying, stay safe out there, Nigerians in the UK, stay safe out there, ensure that you are just safety conscious.
Absolutely.
And this is like the first big test of Keir Starmer as the Prime Minister of United Kingdom.
Yeah, it was a sad event, sad occurrence for that person to have done what he did. I don't know the motive behind those little kids. We just pray those that have passed on, the Lord rest them well. But basically, just as we said about Nigeria, this is a test of time for the new Prime Minister. I think this is one of the first major he's actually going to face at this point. But looking at the point at which some people are now saying that non-immigrants, once you're not white, you should get out of the United Kingdom. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We've got, for instance, now, we've got some British people here. And would we now say they should leave Nigeria as well? There should be a way to look into this and sort this out amicably.
And of course, Keir Starmer has condemned the violence that has erupted all across the United Kingdom. We preach peace here, not just in Nigeria, but all across the world. We'll take this breather. When we return, the papers are in. We are going to be looking through the front pages of the different newspapers this morning to see what we have. Do not go anywhere. Morning Spring will be right back.
Nigeria still has some breathtaking natural areas and national parks. These forests and wild places help maintain healthy ecosystems, clean rivers, rainfall, and even the oxygen we breathe. But if we allow our wildlife to be poached and our forests to be cut illegally, we may lose this forever. So let's do the right thing. Tell your families and friends not to buy illegal bushmeat or illegal timber from our protected forests. It's time to save our wildlife and forests in order to protect our natural heritage. Keep them wild, keep us safe.
Welcome back to the newspaper review segment. Let's head on to the Punch at this time. Let's see what the Punch has on its front page, reporting events all across the nation and beyond. On the Punch newspaper this morning, boldly written, you can see hunger protest, Tinubu's speech attracts knocks, kudos. And with the riders, showing PDP slam president's address, NGO, others ill hit. And protest organizers demand 1,150 detainees release. And you can see the picture of the demonstrations in different parts of the country, the people coming out in their numbers just to let the government know that we are not happy, we are dissatisfied with the economic situation in the country, and also telling the government, saying that there is hunger in the land. I was about to say that in Pidgin, hunger day. They tell the government, say hunger day. And away from that, JAM gives tertiary institutions ultimatum to disclose illegal admissions. And still on the Punch newspaper, NDLEA arrests 12 with drugs hidden in baby food tins. Hardship. States get 570 billion naira grant, and this was part of Mr. President's address on Sunday morning, saying that states were given 570 billion naira grant, and this is the time for citizens or residents in the different states to begin to ask questions from their state governments. Where is our own share, and what are you using the money for? It's not just all about the national or the federal. Let's begin to look at the federating units, that's the states, and begin to question, interrogate, quiz this state governors on what they are using the funds for. Yes, that's how it should be. And still on the Punch newspaper, retail investors may shun bank stocks as shareholders lose 1.6 trillion naira. Marketers stop fuel supply. Queues resurface, and public debt may hit 130 trillion naira by December. This is according to a report, and you can see the picture of the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Evelyn there. And lastly, from the Punch newspaper, how we broke a 20-year jinx to reach Olympics quarter-finals, says the Tigress. And congratulations to our babes, because they are doing us proud, really. I mean, their first match against Australia, they were able to beat. And Australia is not just a small team, you know.
One of the best in the world.
Exactly.
Honestly.
And I think they lost their second match, the game. And this third one, they were able to qualify. And it's really, really good that, I mean, amidst all of the brouhaha happening in our economy, when it comes to sports and music, entertainment, Nigerians are doing well all over. Congratulations to the Tigress. Congratulations
to the ladies, but then don't get it twisted, because there's always what a man can do. But then
let's celebrate this victory
at this moment. All right.
That will be all from the Punch.
I'll go straight to the Guardian newspaper for today, and just as Evelyn has ruled out from the Punch newspaper, we have this set of stories here. It has to do with the national broadcast. The big bold caption on the front page of the Guardian newspaper for today is outrage over rush of old policy, threats, failure to soothe protesters. Outrage over rush of old policies, threats, failure to soothe protesters. There's been so much bashing from left and right. Moving on, protests. 52 billion naira worth of looting, a setback to entrepreneurs' investment. 52 billion. That's massive. Okay, moving further below that same story. Livestock Ministry must end open grazing conflict. Livestock Ministry must end open grazing conflict. And just beside that same story, nationwide protest dialogue remains best option, says Diri. That's the governor of Bayelsa State speaking there. And just a bit above that story there, import duty, forex rises to 1,618 naira to the dollar despite Tinubu's pledges. Import duty, forex rises to 1,618 naira to the dollar despite Tinubu's pledges. And coming further down below that story, cancel autonomy, or your chairman pulled out of Algon to form new association. Interesting there. Poor internet service lingers as NCC denies new tariff. And other story there, Kano judiciary probe looting of court as protest continues. What was it that they will have gone to take loot from the courts? The judges, the lawyers, where they are.
They've been to the library. They've been to the that yet to be commissioned 3 MTT building in Kano.
Yeah.
And they've looted. I saw people looting traffic light. And like, what do you want to use that for?
Yeah, someone said to control traffic in your light in your house, right? But that's not the light, but it's weird. Why would you? I saw those guys on the traffic light stand trying to remove it. What for? We've just heard now that they looted the courts. And I remember my mom sent me something yesterday night that as much as they looted libraries, they didn't take a single book.
Yeah. What do they want to use that for?
That will be all from the Guardian newspaper.
All right, from the Guardian newspaper, we head straight to the Vanguard newspaper at this time. On the Vanguard newspaper, protests. Tinubu's broadcast fell short of expectations, and you can see the photographs of Wole Soyinka, Atiku, Femi Falana, Adeyaju, and also there. Organizers, Atiku, Soyinka, PDP, NLC, others, with a couple of riders there. Protests continue in Lagos, Osun, Kano, others. Tinubu's speech, hollow, fails to address hardship among Nigerians, says Atiku. His broadcast didn't address police brutality against protesters, says Wole Soyinka, and address economic contractions. NECA tasks government. Trackers rubbish Tinubu's protest speech, say president bereft of ideas. And away from that particular headline, moving to another one. FG's reforms have not brought promised renewed hope, says Catholic bishops. IBB disowns post endorsing military rule. And household struggle to cope with galloping food prices, and that is why people are out there on the streets. Hardship protests, some people want to blackmail me, Obi says. Stop bloodshed, ex-ADC presidential candidate Kachuku begs protesters. And still on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, let's see one more headline on the Guardian newspaper. Or let's just take for the laughs right now. Mr. and Mrs. Mr. saying to Mrs., I am capable of taking care of my family. Things may be tight now, but I am an important person in the society. My name is Billy, one and only Billy. And Mrs. replying, one and only Billy. Oya, settle your bills. All right? That's all from the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, quickly, let's check out some of the headlines as we have them from the Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper has this big, bold headline: protesters leave Lagos ground, desert Abuja beneath venues. There's a writer to that story there. Sanwo-Olu opens engagement channel, showing how to handle protesters. All right, that's probably to Mr. President there. All right, other headlines here. 6 building material manufacturing hubs coming, says Housing Minister. Okay. Bintiri Kachuku Okocha saying here, give President more time. But the writer associated to that story there says PDP, Okupe, Ezekwesili, others differ on presidential broadcast. Okay, on the top strip of that same daily, the Nation newspaper, JAMB issues ultimatum to varsities over illegal admission. How we are reforming economy, agric, others, that's credited to Mr. President there. And Oyo Council chairman pull out of Algon. Ministers on path to boost intra-Africa trade. On the bottom strip of the Nation newspaper for today, Ladoja accepts beaded crown. Eventually. Right, on the wall of sports, Olympics quarterfinal. President hails the Tigress. All right, thank you, ladies. At least that's some respite at this point in time, in spite of the challenges facing the country. Yeah, thank you, ladies. Go. You can do it.
Yeah.
To the finals and at least get that gold medal. I wish you the very best. That'll be all from the Nation newspaper from me for today.
And on Daily Trust, we had to Daily Trust at this time. Atiku showing Falana others pick holes in Tinubu's speech. Riders, you cannot serve bullets where bread is pleaded, says Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. Broadcast didn't address protesters' demands, human rights lawyer says. And no mention of insecurity in North. NEF. And is sticking to anti-masses policies, says Afenifere. Hashtag end bad governance protest in numbers. The death toll, giving you statistics of the end bad governance protest on the death toll and what has transpired in a few days. Death toll is 18 and police reported 7 in injuries. About 175 people were injured. Number of suspects arrested, over 700 people. A number of states with cases of violence, 17 out of 36. Number of states where peaceful protesters were recorded, peaceful protests rather were recorded, we have 10. And approximate worth of goods lost, 6 billion naira. And we can see, the states that had bloodshed, mostly in the north, up north, we had mostly the violence that took lives up north there. And away from that, President out of touch with reality. Protesters say rally continues today. Admission entry age. JAMB raises alarm over false affidavit age adjustments. NCC extends NIN SIM verification deadline. Man jailed 1 year for stealing 7 mudders of rice. Wow. Stealing is stealing, whether you steal 1 muddle or you steal 1 billion, it's stealing. But then, it is what it is. Hunger protest bereaved families mourn. Algon Rights Finance Commissioners demands payment of a July allocation. How demonstrators wreaked havoc in the lands. And that will be all from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Mostly all newspapers we had under review touched on the presidential broadcast and also giving us an overview of what the protest has been like in the past few days today.
All right, and quickly, just before we call it a wrap from the dailies, this day newspaper, I'll just take a couple of other stories because virtually all the papers have something to say concerning the broadcast of Mr. President yesterday and the ongoing protests virtually all around the country. On the top strip of this day newspaper, Nasima, non-payment of forex forwards pushing companies into bankruptcy. And Enugu government approves 183 billion naira for 141 urban roads, 20 rural roads. Okay. Protests. Some sacrifices needed to rescue economies, says Bagudu. And you have this other story there. Knox commendations trail Tinubu's broadcast over protest. You can see it has quite a whole lot of riders associated to that story. And during an inspection of various road intervention projects by federal government, all right, there you can you get to see the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, there. All right, I guess this is just some of the other headlines as we have them from this day newspaper for today.
And that will be it for the newspaper segment on Morning Spring for today. We go for this break, and when we return, we will be speaking to critical stakeholders, getting their reactions as to the national broadcast by Mr. President yesterday. Did they really think that he addressed the demands of the protesters, and what is the way forward from here? It's still Morning Spring on WSTV. Do not move a muscle.